Hi, I'm Alicia Raymond, and I'm going to explore personal virtues. A virtue is defined by Salem Press Encyclopedia as morally right and wrong conduct among people. It's a strong and consistent character trait, a strong moral standing. Virtues are generally considered good traits that have positive and helpful effects on the virtuous person and those around them. A civic virtue that I personally possess is my commitment to voting. I believe that every voice counts, and it's important for everyone to be informed regarding our government and issues at hand, and to make an educated decision regarding leaders and issues being voted on. I also believe it's essential to follow laws and speed limits. These are in place to keep people safe, and it's the responsibility of each and every one of us to do our part. Civic virtues are positive character traits that prioritize the common good and benefit the public community. I believe that voting and abiding by rules do just that. Following rules and promoting fairness are essential in creating an inclusive classroom. Rules lay the foundation for behavior in a classroom. They tell students what is expected and what is allowed, and ensure that everyone is treated fairly. By allowing students to participate in creating classroom rules, you create an environment where everyone feels safe and welcome, like they belong. Moral virtues, on the other hand, are more broad, leading an individual to behave in a morally good way. These are positive behavior traits that make up a person's character. One of my strongest moral virtues is compassion. I am able to listen and connect with people because I care. I care about their general well being, and I enjoy connecting with people. In my opinion, compassion is one of the best traits an educator can have. We're not teaching at students, we're connecting with them as people and hoping to get through to them. Compassion is a virtue that makes for a more inclusive classroom because it makes for an environment that is safe, supportive, and nurturing. Compassionate teachers take time to listen and help. Their heart is in it. They care about every one of their students, and that's essential in any classroom. Every student is treated equal. Every student feels like they're seen, respected, understood, and valued. Compassion does just that. It focuses on students' emotional needs, which encourages and often leads to better academic performance. The sense of belonging also fosters a sense of community in the classroom. There are also what is known as performance virtues. These are traits that contribute to a person's performance, their success at work or in sports. These are traits that help them achieve something. Two such traits that I possess are determination and perseverance. Going back to school, for instance, I have a degree in an unrelated field. I decided to be a stay-at-home mom and ended up not using that degree. I faced some hurdles in life, but I've persevered and I'm being the best mother I can be to my children. Determination is what drives a teacher to create an inclusive classroom. It motivates them to create a physical environment that is accessible to all students and adjust lesson plans to meet the diverse needs. Determination is the fuel behind change and adaptation. It's the desire to be the best you can be and to provide the best for your students. Perseverance also contributes to an inclusive classroom in the form of patience. Students will push back and there will be methods that don't work as well as you thought. But perseverance means you don't give up. It's also important to encourage your students to persevere through their struggles. By focusing on the effort that they put in as opposed to the answers that they may have gotten incorrect, we can guide them in finding a solution together in a way that positively contributes to their academic success. There are also intellectual virtue character traits that contribute to thinking and learning. Reflection is an intellectual virtue that I feel I strongly possess. I feel confident in looking at myself and my work, as well as the work of others, and discerning what could have been improved upon. Being able to step back and take an honest and open look at yourself, your behavior, and your work that you've produced, and identify what you've done well and what you could improve upon is a highly important intellectual trait to embody. Reflection is essential in the classroom. As an educator who is able to look at their own attitude, thoughts, and assumptions and recognize when changes need to be made or help is needed. Reflecting on teaching strategies and habits can allow educators to make changes that contribute to a more inclusive classroom. There are so many virtues that educators should possess, and it'll look a little bit different for every person. The virtues that are most critical for me as an educator would be wisdom, patience, gentleness, generosity, curiosity, compassion, respect, and teamwork. These virtues align with the concept of Imago Dei, recognizing the worth, dignity, and potential in every student, and that a wise educator knows when someone is being treated unfairly or when they need to advocate for a student. The image of God is an image of patience, something an inclusive classroom, or any classroom for that matter, needs plenty of. Gentleness means being gentle in your approach with every student and treating them with dignity. Generosity aligns with recognizing the worth, dignity, and potential of every student, and that you're willing to learn about them and listen to what they have to say. You're curious about who they are as a person, and you make them feel accepted. Compassion is at the heart of recognizing every student's worth and treating them with dignity and respect. Teamwork is essential in any educational setting, but especially in the inclusive classroom. Collaboration and attention tell students that they're worth it and that you see their potential. Character formation means being the best I can be for my students. It means continual development of myself, of my morals and ethics, of my behaviors and attitude. It means regular self-reflection and consideration of my strengths and weaknesses and a willingness to accept that I'm not perfect. But I can strive to be better than yesterday and I can aim to be the best version of myself. It means making a conscious effort to be someone who contributes positively to society and all whom I interact with. As Casewell points out in her study of character, ethics is concerned with forming character, and that character determines how we respond in situations. Not only is character development important for myself, but it's something that should be incorporated in the classroom as well. The best way I can do this is to personally model good character traits. Not only could I demonstrate in my everyday behavior how students can positively interact with one another and demonstrate strong morals and ethics, but strategy I could naturally integrate into the curriculum would be to also share stories of situations I have been in that are relevant to the lesson and feature a situation when having a good moral character came into play. This would allow students to imagine the story happening in their head and have a mental image of what positive character traits look like in action. It would also encourage them to use critical thinking skills to identify how each person involved must have felt. In addition to being a good example and sharing stories, I would incorporate character formation into the classroom environment by having quotes around the classroom to remind students to try their hardest and treat others with kindness. Visual reminders are not only appealing to the eye, but they also act as subtle reminders to be our best and exemplify positive character traits. Constant exposure to these motivational reminders will cement them into memory and slowly be incorporated into their mindset and behavior. Another way to foster character formation in the classroom would be to include literature that presents moral dilemmas, leading students to reflect on the character's behavior and the choices and the results that came of those choices. This would incorporate well into any related curriculum. I'm always interested in character development. I enjoy reading self-help books that offer suggestions and motivation for living healthy, fostering a strong body and mind, and being the best version of myself that I can be. I'm currently reading a book that does just that, so I would continue to read books that further grow my character development as an educator. I would attend conferences and seminars that focus on character development and research such things as how to be an effective teacher, how to connect with students, and how to be a better teacher. I would use such resources as the internet, the library, and the district that I work in. I would ask other teachers in my school, as well as admins or HR, to keep me informed of upcoming teacher trainings, and I will continually work on my character formation by watching those around me, noting what they do and how students interact, and reflecting on what I can do to improve myself. It's important to have strong morals and ethics and strong virtues as a teacher, to model those for your students and to treat them the way they deserve to be treated. That way you benefit and your students benefit and everyone has the best experience they can have.